What's going on, everybody? Welcome to your daily astrology horoscope for Tuesday, October 11th, 2022. Astrologer Brian Scarborough here, Fixed Air Moon, keeping the collective fixed on astrology. Truly appreciate you all. If you haven't guessed by now, seeing me in the same outfit, this week all the horoscopes are pre-recorded. So I'm in Texas, meeting up with Robert Phoenix, out there with David, doing a lot of cool stuff and a little, astrology retreat, vacay, if you will. So I pre-recorded these to get them out, because who knows what I'll be doing, and it's a lot of work to film on the road. I used to do it, but anyways, going this route. Welcome to the horoscope of Tuesday, October 11th. That moon is in Taurus. It's planted there today, but it's also Sun trine Saturn. I like this energy. I definitely feel good about this. I feel like this is really getting back to our own personal sense of security and value and self-worth that we can be so grounded in. And this is what's forming bonds and contracts and relationships for really like the rest of this year, if you will, until, we get into February and see the Sun-Saturn conjunction. Of course, when the Sun comes into Scorpio, it'll square Saturn. But we're seeing like the benefit of the inner work that we do and the decisions that we do step up to make based on our individuated value system. That moon is going to be with Uranus and the North Node. It's really going to finish the day with Uranus and square Saturn. So, that's late in the day, if you will. And even Moon North Node, right? These are definitely big decisions. It's a big decision day, but I think it's harmonious when we do step up and make them. Like, we really want to form contracts that are in alignment with our unique values, with ourself, with the right people, the frequency of life that we're trying to build and keep and move forward in. It's very important. So, it does bring a little tension, but I think compared to where we've been in the astrology over the last couple days, this is definitely seeing the right contracts for what they are. Mercury is now, of course, in Libra, locked and loaded here. So it is opposite Jupiter too, for the third and final time. So there's a lot of balancing that we are doing within our minds, but I think if we get back to our emotion, get back to our true feelings of whatever it is, because Taurus is very feeling based too, but it's more about the physical feeling. It's very sensual. So we're trying to figure out how everything actually makes our body feel and what tastes good, smells good, looks good, and then that kind of vibrates out to what we're attracting in with other people. And that's kind of showing us where beliefs that we could have held or had didn't no longer make sense, or they really do make sense. We don't want to get so caught up in our mind that we're losing it. I think this is a hard day mentally with Jupiter and Mercury in opposition, but we need to find that sweet spot of identifying with our story, our values, and making contracts and relationships outside of ourselves that really are in alignment with that beauty 100%. It's also Mars square Neptune, very intense today. So, it just in terms of our mental stability right now, it's not it's not the best. We can be over-identifying with where we escape. We can be over-identifying way too hard with things that are, toxic, that are taking us backwards, with chaotic situations. We can really spin ourselves around in a really uncomfortable loop right now, mentally. So we gotta focus our mind on what the body and the emotion and the feeling is telling us. We'll make better grounded decisions that are for where we need to go right now. We'll really get back to our confidence, our self-worth, and our value, and it'll just change everything. And I think that by the end of the day, with the moon squaring Saturn and with Uranus, it's definitely epiphany central, but it's because you're shattering contracts that are not based on your value system so that you can go into new contracts or whatever that is with situations that are in, pure alignment because you've done that work, you've seen the bottom line. And Venus is of course off the opposition to Chiron. So we've kind of had to go into these very vulnerable situations already. It's time to really empower ourselves with decision and with value of what it is we want to do and make happen with our futures, where life's going. So much of this right now is just this buildup of every day. And I talk about this all the time in the dailies, but decisions are important right now. They're very crucial. You start to see very quickly what decisions don't work, and that's okay. We don't want to beat ourselves up over that, but we start to see what decisions do work. We got to align ourselves more with the decisions that we are getting a good result from, and kind of dissolving and dispersing the ones that are not giving us the result that we're looking for, without tripping our minds out, without going into some crazy place. It's also Sun quincunx Uranus. So it's just like it's very, there's weird changes, but they're very faded, and they're definitely showing us a more valuable and aligned future, better relationships. People are a big aspect right now. What do our groups look like, and do they fit with the inner workings, and do we have the courage to be honest about the inner workings and feelings and emotions that, are we just staying stubborn in situations that aren't, kind of getting the ball rolling for something more valuable? We want to pay attention to that, because it's like things that happen with people today and in your life that are, coming up with questions. It's definitely, putting into a little bit of concrete here, like where things are going to go for the future. So make the smart decisions. That's definitely like Sun trine Saturn here in air. Like, there are very smart decisions that can be made, very in order decisions, very aligned. Act on those with integrity, and you will definitely see more value show up in your day, especially. So I hope you have a lovely, 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 lovely Tuesday. Let's see what's in the cards for today. Wow, pulled this card in. Page of Wands. But this time upright. Like, really, being open and curious about all these creative aspects in life. They're going to get you farther. They're going to show you where you can go on a journey with someone, where you don't want to go on a journey. It's just like being open to where things can go, instead of the idea that you know it all. I think that's very important again. Oh, wow, 10 of Wands. Definitely learning how to drop things off. Like, we can be carrying way more than necessary, and it could be like a cycle kind of coming to an end of what we've been carrying that is not really meant to go up the rest of the mountain here, with Pluto finishing in Capricorn and direct now. And, decisions to really focus your creative intent on what's, really growing and being birthed on the journey, instead of what you've already put so much work and effort into or hold on to that is just like dead weight at this point. The Fool reversed. That card really does remind me of like Fool energy, not like new beginnings, not like, curious, open, ready to start, a fresh new journey, but like actually being a fool. We can actually be being way too much of a fool if we're carrying things, or if we think we have all the answers. Like, this is definitely a curious aspect of life, to trust your emotions, your intention, where things can go, and get out of our minds trap here of what it thinks it already has 100% certainty over. I feel like anything certain right now is very foolish, and you're basically putting yourself into like, honestly, like a delusion, if you will, especially with Mars square Neptune. We can be in an extreme delusion of certainty that doesn't need to be there, like the curiosity and trusting what really does feel exciting and loving and nurturing and supportive and grounded and on the direction you want to go. That's real. Other stuff right now, putting that intent or keeping on that journey, is just foolish, if you will. Hope you all have a beautiful Tuesday, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Much love. Peace.